Welcome to Manifesting Through Motherhood. I'm your host, Lindsay Williams, a self-development mentor, entrepreneur and author, dedicated to helping busy mums like you manifest success, balance and create passive income on your terms. With years of experience in mindset, manifestation, fitness, parenting and business growth, I share simple yet powerful strategies to help you transform your life without the overwhelm. If you're ready to up-level your mindset, build a thriving business and create the life you truly deserve, you're in the right place. You can also find all my books on Amazon, packed with tools to help you manifest and grow. So don't forget to follow the podcast to be updated on all new episodes. And let's get going. Welcome back to the podcast and a happy new year 2025. And we are kicking off with season 4 of the podcast, Manifesting Through Motherhood. And if you are new to the podcast, welcome. My name is Lindsay Williams. I am your podcast host and I am ready to get into a positive new year. This year, everything is different for me, especially last year, losing Nan. This year is all about looking after me and my needs and looking after my mum more as well. I know my mum listens to this podcast, so I am all about the love, self-love, and that's what I've done already this year. It's been all about me, and you know, when you've gone through anything in life, it takes time, and especially when you've got a business and you've got children, and you're just trying to get on with daily tasks. Everybody is struggling at the minute. I've seen it myself. I have friends going through the same thing. So it's really important that we have podcasts like this that take care of our mindsets, our goals, and it's something that you can just escape to for a bit of positivity. And I'm all about manifesting, and if you are new to manifesting, then I do urge you to go back and listen and pick out the episodes that you would think, actually, I don't understand that. And once you listen to it, you kind of get an understanding about manifesting and how it works and how you can implement just small changes into your daily life that has profound impact on everything that you do. And I started to introduce more manifesting techniques over the last couple of years, and that's how I ended up launching a podcast through manifesting, became an author through manifesting, started a goal set, do vision boards, visualization, started to put crystals down my bra. I'm not a woo-woo person, but we have our own way of doing things, and once you start picking up little golden nuggets through this podcast, then you can start seeing the changes. I have so many women that message me and friends that listen to the podcast that say, Lindsay, that episode, I did everything that you said. And I feel like I can take on the world. I've started to get diaries and planners. And people start to write everything down and start taking action. It's all about habit stacking and time blocking and vision boards. So it's about using everything. And everything that I do teach on the podcast, once you start putting that together, it becomes a habit. It's a daily habit. It's something that you do. And it's a routine that I do every day. I get up, I do my exercise, I do my journaling. I go to bed at night, I do my gratitude. I do all the things that has helped me do, get the progression that I've wanted to get. And the business growth and the personal growth is probably the most top priority that we can take from this podcast. So today I wanted to talk about 3 key areas that can amplify your life, which is fitness, manifesting and self-identification. And what does it mean to step into a more empowered, aligned version of yourself? So I'm going to share with you how fitness, manifesting and self-identification have impacted my life, and how these 3 pillars really do have big rewards through everything that I do. So we're going to start with fitness, because we all need to do fitness, no matter, if we've got pain management or disability. I used to teach exercise referrals, so I've taught people exercises, bilateral empathies. There's never been a barrier for me teaching anybody. That's why I went into that other side of fitness, not just going to do my personal training course. It wasn't enough for me. It never is enough, because there's people out there that I need to help. People need adaptations when they're doing exercise. So I've worked with all ranges of people from stroke, heart attack, amputees, prosthetics, pre and postnatal, just high blood pressure, you name it. I've done the exercise fitness plans for people, especially when I worked in gyms. And why does fitness matter? Because fitness, physical activity isn't just about the aesthetic side, but it's about generating energy, improving mental clarity, and building discipline. So incorporating movement into a busy schedule like morning walks, mini home workouts, that's what I love to do, or family friendly activities will just elevate your vibration, and it'll just help you more with your manifesting. Because when you've done a workout, I work out at home a lot more these days, because I was going to my gym, but what I found, I was going out late at night doing a lot of exercise classes, and then I felt a bit guilty, being at home. So I got one of them walking pads with actually got a handle on mine. I've got loads of weights. I've got a boxing pad here. I've got everything. So in my back room, I started collecting, especially through lockdown, loads of different exercise equipment. And you don't need a lot. You can just go on YouTube and do some body weight exercises are the best form of exercise if you are a beginner, because you will still ache by doing squats and lunges, and you can do inches. You can actually put anything into YouTube and it will come up for you. Even if you've got a disability and you need to do in-chair exercises, there'll always be something. Only thing I would say is be careful, if you've got any health conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, cardiac issues, just be careful. Always get approval from your doctor if you're going to start any exercise routine. And you know yourself, you've got to be safe when you're doing these things at home as well. But it's a habit for me. I tend to do more like Monday to Friday, but today I've actually got up. It's Sunday, I'm recording, and my husband's had to take the big car today because it's snowing, and he works about 20 minutes away down the motorway. So I said, you'll have to take the big car because it's got heated seats and heated windows, and it's so much better for the weather. And so I said, he's like, oh, what are you going to do all day? I said, well, I could use your car, but I'm not really, if it's still actually, there's a lot of snow on the ground. And I said, well, I've got plenty to do. I'm going to do a workout. I actually went back, I got up with him, and then I went back to bed, and my son never got up to 11:30. I was like, this is not, he's like back to school tomorrow. So I'm like, you've got to get him into a routine. But I just left him to sleep. We had a busy day yesterday. And I just went back in bed. I ended up watching a Christmas film. I've been watching X-Files from the beginning. I've been enjoying that. So I just snuggled up because I thought I never get the chance to do this. And I thought I've got all day to work. I have no plans. And then we got up and we had some breakfast, and then I did some cleaning, and then I did my workout. What else did I do? Just tidied up again. And so I've been pottering. I love the word pottering. I put some candles on, hoovered up, went into the salon, made sure everything's ready for tomorrow, back to work. And then I come back, I've come in here and I've sorted my desk area, I've hoovered, cleaned, wiped the windows, and I thought, I'm going to record my podcast today while I can. So I'm all organised, my energy's good, I'm feeling relaxed. I'm going to do a foot pack after. Me and my son are going to watch some films, and he likes talking to his friends and playing on his devices. So I said, we're going to watch a film after, we're going to have an early night because we've got school tomorrow. So it's just nice to sometimes, exercise when you want or have a plan. But when I'm back at work, I'm probably back at work tomorrow because my son goes back to school. So I'm going to have to get up early and do my exercise, because if I don't, I'll leave it in the day. Sometimes I can't be bothered, because you want to have your tea in the evening and sort the children out, and then you've got afternoon, after school activities. So I get up and do 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Don't do too long, I don't have to go too long. And then I just balance my exercise out for the week. I'll always do the cardio treadmill. I have a booty band, some TheraBands. I'll do some squats, some lunges, some leg raises. I'll do some biceps and tricep curls, do some front and side raises, just with some 5 kilogram weights. You can pick up weights in Sports Direct, Aldi. If you look now, you're going to get bargains because of the new year. Go on Amazon. So it's applying that into your daily life, that the fitness will give you mental clarity, it'll improve your cardiovascular, it will help with weight loss or weight gain. If you're going to be doing weights, it'll improve your circulation, it'll be better for your bone density, better for your joints. And I think we need to start January good. And you might be on like dry January, and a lot of people will probably give up alcohol for January. So it's a really good way, when you've got rid of one thing, change a bad habit for a good habit. We all want positivity. We all know when we need to do better, because when we're playing with children or we're running around or doing different things, we can feel it when we're out of breath. So if we just maintain it, the exercise every day, then we're laughing. We can just keep doing what we're doing. And I don't know, when I exercise, I just feel like I've accomplished something. I feel good. I feel ready to take on the world. And my manifesting power, it feels good because I'm not ruminating all the time and thinking, this is what I want this week. These are my goals for the month, or your KPIs, or whatever whatever business you're going to be doing. But the exercise, we should all be doing some form of exercising, whether it's just walking, you might have got a dog, just walking up and down the stairs, parking your car a little bit further. And I do this all the time, and my husband's like, just park near the door, and I'm like, no, because it's lazy, let's try and, if we're on our own, let's just park further and walk. So it's just trying to change things throughout the week, just to swap things, as you go along, and you feel so much fitter, and you feel like you can do a lot more as well. And you start to see physical improvements with your waistline, your body tone, everything looks good. Your skin, my skin is really good at the minute. I used to suffer bad acne, and I got this like 20s. I think this was to do with like I used to probably go out more and drink alcohol, probably had more takeaways back then, and it does affect you. Are what you eat, because you can see it in your body. I don't get days where I feel sluggish or I feel like I want to eat more. I feel quite, probably, even though I'm older now, I feel like I'm probably better because I'm more stable in what I'm doing, because I've been there, done that, won the t-shirt, I've been yo-yo dieting for many, many years, and this is why you can end up ruining your body, because you stop exercising, you start a routine. Everyone will start with a personal trainer, and then we don't carry on. So just try and do exercises at home. Go on YouTube. There's just so much you can do for free. We can just lie there and just lift your legs up, give yourself a body scan, and that's what I do. I feel like, my shoulder's a bit tight, so what do I need to do? So I have these TheraBands, and I pull my TheraBands and just move my shoulders, roll my shoulders, slide up and down on the wall, do some push-ups on the wall. There's so many different things that we can do, and there's lots of free information online. So number 2 would be manifesting. I just love manifesting, because what it does, it fuels your mind, and it does attract your dreams. And it's the power of intention. And the thoughts become actions equals reality. So it's looking at the practical manifesting tools that I do, which is your journals, your vision boards, and your daily gratitude. Because when you're looking at what you're grateful for every day, it might just be the same. And going through grief over Christmas, me doing my journaling and my manifesting, it's my counsel. I'm writing it down, and I might be angry and looking at what I'm writing down and thinking, why is this bothering you, and why is this upsetting you? But if I'm not putting it pen to paper, I'm not releasing it. And the gratitude is, I've lost my nan, but I've got to think of my son and my family and my mum and my dad and my husband and everybody else, and my business and my house and my holidays coming up. I've got to live my life accordingly to me. I do worry about other people, and my mum said, you've got to stop worrying about other people's health, because I'm an empath. You just take it on, and you've got other things going on around you. It's really hard, so I'm just trying to cater for me, not in a selfish way, probably a little bit selfish, but I spent a whole year last year ruminating, about a lot of scenarios and things that I've gone around in my head. But I can't change people and their actions, and I think I had to realise that. My mum said, you've got to realise that. You've got to focus on your bubble, and we've got to create a bubble here, because I can't make people be any different. And I feel like I want people to be a certain way, because I am, and they're not, and that bugs me as well. So I find that hard. So I journal all these little bugbears down, and then I dissect them, and then I look at them, and I'm like, right, my husband is completely opposite to me. He's like, I don't know why you let people bother you, why you let things bother you, just get on with your life, you've got a lovely home. I'm like, I know, but I'm a people's person. I see a lot of people daily, so you do take on other people's energy as well. So, a lot of my clients that do these manifesting practices, they've just seen, I've had clients that have got out of a lot of debt because I've talked about manifesting and talking about the money, clearing out debts, looking at how we can start earning some extra income. So manifesting is not just about, I'm going to put it out to the universe, I'm going to manifest a car. Well, it doesn't work like that. It has to be aligned. There needs to be some action and a lot of thought through it. You need to start visualising it and changing that mindset, because if you're always being negative all the time or putting it out there to the universe, you're not going to get anything. The universe is not going to give you something if you're complaining in the morning 24/7 about the same thing. We have to take inspired action all the time, because if we don't, then we just don't seem to get anywhere. If you're still complaining in the morning about the same thing as last year and your goals have not changed since last year, then we need to think, are these goals aligned? How can we change them? Do we need to change our vision board? So go back to your vision board, whether you've got a cork board or you've got your phone. We can look at putting things on our vision board and just get some cutouts. Print some off. I print things off my computer. I've got manifest it in big writing. I'm going to print some affirmation ones off today. I'm going to pop them on there. I've got pictures of my family up. So look at things and I think, yeah, this is what I work towards. This is what matters to me now. I did my car and my new kitchen last year. So things happen, and like this, we've just bought a new sofa over Christmas, and I've been looking. It's funny because I say that I don't manifest things, but me and my husband, and I think he like eggs me on a little bit. He was like, when he did the cinema wall, he like started saying, could you do another sofa? But he's like, I know, but this sofa's not very old, but we can sell this sofa. So he started looking. So I started to see these sofas, but I never really mentioned it to him. And then he's like, look at this sofa, should we go and have a look? And I was like, oh, okay. But I knew like he'll want it. So, we can't just go and have a look at something. Because if we're going to look, then it's obviously something that we want to look at. And I ended up I've got a new sofa coming in February. But it is something that I want, but then there's things that's on my vision board that hasn't come yet. But I'm working towards them. And they're not really actually big major things at the minute. Because I like to change my vision board when things come through. I like to adapt them. I like to check things off. I'm like, do I really want that? Is that somebody else's vision? Societal pressures, we can think, well, they've got that and they do the same job as me, so I want that. But sometimes we don't really need it, do we? So it takes a little bit longer, I find, for, manifesting, when you're manifesting something specific. But when you start to manifest it, your brain starts to see things. More like if you're manifesting a car, you'll start seeing that green car or that red car, because we start to focus. And it's nice. I find it exciting manifesting, because I think, yeah, even if you're manifesting a new table for your kitchen, put it on your fridge, like stick it on there, looking at it, how am I going to get that fridge? How long is it going to take me to save up? 6 months, well, how much am I going to need to save up? Can I sell something? Can I sell my own table? So manifesting leads to our desires being present and, being there, tangible in front of us. We can have what we want. We can work towards anything, moving house, buying a house, selling our house, finding love. You start manifesting the perfect person, but you need to be very specific what you want from this person, because you want that person to be right. And this is going to lead me on to the next thing now, which is self-identification. And knowing yourself will amplify your growth. So it's really important to know your identity, who you are before you get into any relationship, and to have a successful relationship. Because you end up, when you're in a couple, you end up just merging together and you kind of lose what you want. Me and my husband are completely different. He's older than me. I'm into manifesting and all this stuff, and he's not. He just lives his life. He kind of manifests it in a different way, because I'll say to him, yeah, but you did kind of mention it and it did come, and he's like, yeah, but it doesn't journal. But at night when I'm journaling in bed, I'll say to him, like, what are you grateful for? Anything you want to talk about? So he'll do it like verbally, but I like to write things down. But you know what, he's such a happy-go-lucky guy. He doesn't complain about anything, doesn't moan about anything. His mental health's always been quite solid, even when he lost his father. Because he said, I've got everything. I'm so grateful to have you. You got me through it, and he's got me through this with my nan, because he's been patient, he's been kind. So that self-identification, knowing who you are, and it's really important that, we understand our values, talk about your values, your strengths, and purpose can help navigate our life more confidently. And then we've got to ask ourselves questions like, who am I when no one is watching? What am I passionate about? And what do I want my legacy to be? Mine is my podcast. I'm an author now. I've got books out there. So people ask me to collaborate more, ask to work with them, go on the podcast. And I'm quite funny about where I go and put my energy, because it's so easy to get swept up in negative energy. But I think you just know when people are right, that you've got the right tribe around you. Because when you haven't, it starts to feel off. And that's when you just move direction. But it's good to know who you are. And it's took me a long time. I thought I knew my work 20s and 30s. But when I've got to 40 and I've done so much self-growth and my self-worth is better, I know what I want, I know what I don't want. My imposter syndrome is not like it used to be, because you always think, well, where I come from, people are going to take me seriously, and do you need to come from this, and do you need to have a certain amount of qualifications, and you look at everything, your weight, your societal pressures, and it's sometimes you struggle to identify yourself, and because we can look at our past and look at our ancestors and our family members, and we can be like models of them, and we end up being like our parents, like our grandparents, because I say things to my son, I'm like, I sound like my mum, sorry mum, but you do, because the things that you've been learned and taught. But the generation's so different now, that we're our last generation of younger ones that knew what social media were like, life without social media. My son will always know phones in his life and iPads. We didn't have anything like that at all. We just had pen and paper and colouring books, and that was it. Children now there's more pressure to self-identify what they want, what they need, and that covers everything, because there's a lot of pressure online. So I think, having these positive pillars, the manifesting, the fitness, and the self-identification, it can fuel your direction. And you don't have to master all these today, but every small step will amplify your life. So I want you to share your thoughts on what steps you are going to take going forward. How's your fitness? Are you goal setting? How do you feel about yourself? How are you portraying yourself? Do you like the way you talk, move? Do you need to raise your vibrations, your confidence? I think we can all do, if we all feel a certain way, then we all have to work on self-development and just do very bite-sized micro-learning. I've done mini courses online, I've done big courses. I think everything that I've done, and I always thought, why do I do all these qualifications? And there's got to be something behind that with me, because I wanted to, don't want to prove something all the time. I've done my book now, proved it, done my podcast, I've got my business. It's like, how far do you keep pushing yourself? But I think we can always push ourselves if we want. You might be really happy and doing everything's going really well. You can feel a bit stagnant now with your manifesting. You think, well, sometimes I get like that, because I'm like, I've got everything now, like, what do I want? But do I need anything else? I might be happy, I might just want to manifest small things that come into my life. Little holidays, spa nights, they're just things that I want. And they're just probably more luxury things for me, like self-care items. As parents, we need more self-care, we need more time with our friends, with our partners. So it's just like looking at the overall, and it's quite good now to start looking at everything. With being January, it goes really fast. Have you started writing journals? Have you started doing your gratitude? Have you started to look at crystals? Crystals are amazing. There's so many books out there. The Works have loads of books. There's loads of books on Amazon. You can go on YouTube. There's lots of Instagram accounts with people that talk about crystals, about people on my podcast that talk about crystals. Crystals can amplify the manifesting. But if you are new to manifesting, don't get too complicated. Think about the basic stuff now, the goal setting. Because when I help people start new businesses and I talk to them and like, let's have a look, let's do an audit of everything you do. Let's look at your Facebook. Let's look at who your audience is, what's your niche, what do you want? And they're like, well, I want to do a podcast and I want to do some books. And I'm like, right, so how are we going to do this? Like, well, I don't know. So what time are you going to allow yourself to spend doing this? You're going to have to teach yourself this. You're going to have to do my mini course. You're going to have to go away and it's practice. Practice is, something that you've got to do on a daily basis. And that's what I did when I published my book. I started to do journals first. So I was writing my book, and then I thought I need to be able to publish this book on my own. I never thought I could do it, but I did every day. I practiced, I did a journal, then I did another journal, then I did a better journal, then my graphics got better. And then people started to say, can you teach me? So I decided to do a masterclass, and I did a course. And the same with the podcasting. People were saying, I just helped a few people launch a podcast. And then I started earning money from that. And then people said, well, I need a podcast. So I don't just teach you how to launch a podcast. What I do, I teach you the strategy, talk about social media, talk about Canva, everything you need to do. There's no point just doing a podcast and putting it out there. I see this all the time. People will get so giddy. They'll say, I'm doing a podcast this year. And then I don't see it happen. Or I'll see it and then I think, where's that person's podcast gone? And then I look and they've not had it out for 6 months, or there's no mention of it. Consistency is the key. Make sure you know what you're going to be talking about on your podcast, everything. So, and that's how self-identification is going to come in. If you're not confident to do the podcasting, you're going to have to do a little bit of work. Be confident to take, that next step and start stepping into you and your voice and your power. Don't be afraid to talk behind a microphone. When I first started doing it, I wasn't scared to talk behind a mic, but I talk really fast, and there were different things that I used to say. So it's getting rid of bad habits. So when you listen to season 1 and now season 4, it's different. I've been on a public speaking course last year. It was amazing. I went for the weekend. And so I've picked up lots of ideas, and I am learning myself all the time to slow down a bit, because I tend to rush when I'm talking because I'm 100 miles an hour all the time with work and life. So it's just knowing who you are. So anyway, but we are ready to take on this year, and I'm ready to get going with the podcast and get some new guests on. So I'm really excited. I've got some collaborations booked in. I'm just excited to see. I always like the new year because I've got things planned, but then other things come in unexpectedly, surprisingly. So I quite like that. Things come. I asked the universe to show me some nice surprises throughout the year that are going to benefit me as a person. I'm going to learn things from. So it's nice that I can, ask the universe for that side of my business. Show me some exciting sides to my business. Because what's meant to be is meant to be, and if I'm gonna grow exponentially, then that needs to happen. But I've also got to be mindful. I've got a child with additional needs, and I need to be a mum. He has things going on at home himself and after school. So I do want to be a present mum and, be a family and be a wife. So I also don't want to get too carried away, because I want a really good balance. I think balance is key for anybody. So I will look forward to you getting in touch. You can follow my group, Manifesting Through Motherhood. I'm on TikTok, on Instagram at Busy Mums Fitness Corner. I would love some new reviews this year. I know it's hard and you forget to do reviews, so I'm not sure Apple how you do the reviews, but I know Spotify there's a review section. So if you just look on where you're listening from, there should be some, or you can go on my website and send me a voice note on my website. Anything you're struggling with, if you want any journals and planners, they're all in my link tree. If you've not bought my book, there's actually a Kindle version which I launched last year. It's only £2.29. So if you don't know anything about me, you can buy that on Amazon. And it's a little bit about me and my life, and talk about manifesting and the principles that I do for manifesting, and how I've got my business through from doing it all. So it's just a really good journey. It's just a good book, and it's got some activities in there as well. So the links are gonna be in the show notes. But if you go on my social medias, and if you do follow me, send me a message. Don't be scared to reach out. Send me a voice note. I love getting to know new listeners. And I think that's it from me. So anyway, be safe if it is snowing where you are, and have a great week, positive week. Back to school. If you've got young children, you might be back to the school one. I think we've had enough time, haven't we, now, where we've not had to do the school one. So back to routine. until the next half term, which is February. So anyway, have a great week and thanks for listening. I will speak to you all soon and happy manifesting. Bye for now. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you feel inspired to take action and manifest the life you deserve. Don't forget to come and join me over on social media and Instagram at Busy Mums Fitness Corner for more tips, motivation and behind the scenes. And also be sure to check out my books on Amazon. They're designed to help you manifest your dreams and grow. And if you're ready to take the next step and work with me, you can head over to my Linktree for all the details. Let's make magic happen together. So until next time, keep manifesting and stay amazing.